Hidden beneath this homestead's beautiful exterior lies a dark and bloody history, filled with countless tortured souls. Each spirit tells its own tragic story. The mistress, Mrs. Crawley, who imprisoned herself for 23 years and now rules the homestead forever as a tyrannical ghost, and the souls of children, one burned alive, another chained up for 30 years. This is Australia's most famous haunted homestead, Monte Cristo. Make sure you've liked and subscribed to the channel before we continue exploring this terrifying homestead. Nestled in the peaceful countryside of New South Wales, Australia, lies a beautiful Victorian homestead named Monte Cristo. With its elegant facade, wrought iron balconies, and lush gardens, it looks like a happy place, a symbol of success and fortune. But don't let its appearance deceive you. Behind its closed doors, in its silent hallways and rooms covered in the dust of time, lies a bloody history, an unending series of tragedies, and a long list of souls who cannot find peace. This is not just a haunted house. It has been named the most haunted house in Australia. It's a story that not only awakens a deep sense of fear, but also a sadness for the tragic fate of the tormented souls within. The story of Monte Cristo is not about one or two ghosts, but about an entire community of spirits trapped by pain, violence, and tragedy. From the tyrannical mistress who still rules the house after her death, to the maids who met tragic ends, and the innocent children whose lives were unjustly taken. The story of Monte Cristo begins with a man named Christopher William Crawley, 1841-1910. He was a farmer who purchased 2 parcels of land on a hill overlooking the small town of Junay, with the dream of building an estate for his family. The first few years were incredibly difficult. The Crawley family, including Christopher, his wife Elizabeth, and their 7 children, lived in a simple slab hut while he struggled to make ends meet. But Christopher's fortunes changed dramatically in 1878 when the Great Southern Railway line was completed and ran through Junay. Seeing a golden opportunity, he scraped together all the money he could to buy a license and build the railway hotel directly opposite the soon-to-be open station. It was an incredibly smart move. The small town quickly grew thanks to travelers and agricultural trade, and Christopher Crawley became exceedingly wealthy, establishing himself as one of the town's founders and richest men. With his newfound wealth and social status in 1885, he commissioned the construction of a magnificent 2-story Victorian homestead, naming it Monte Cristo. It was the ultimate symbol of the family's standing, dominating the town's landscape from its hilltop perch. The Crawley family frequently hosted lavish balls and tennis and golf tournaments, becoming the center of the region's high society. However, behind this glamorous facade, tragedy began to creep in. Christopher Crawley died at his own homestead on December 14, 1910. The cause of death was a combination of heart failure and blood poisoning, caused by a carbuncle on his neck that became infected from rubbing against his starched shirt collars. Her husband's death dealt a severe blow to Mrs. Elizabeth Crawley. Unable to cope with the loss, she confined herself to the house. For the remaining 23 years of her life, she left Monte Cristo only twice. She spent most of her time in an attic room she had converted into a small chapel, living like a recluse until her death at the age of 92 on August 12, 1933, due to a ruptured appendix. It is said that Elizabeth was a stern woman who ruled her home with an iron fist and treated her servants very poorly. It is her powerful and somewhat vindictive spirit that is believed to be one of the most prominent ghosts still haunting Monte Cristo today. The Crawley family's tragedy did not end with the deaths of its master and mistress. During the time they lived there, the Monte Cristo homestead became the stage for a series of tragic deaths and horrifying events, with each story adding another unfortunate soul to the house's roster of ghosts. It is rumored that Mr. Crawley impregnated 2 of his maids, One of them, perhaps out of shame and despair, took her own life by jumping from the second-story balcony. She died instantly upon hitting the stairs below. Today it is said that her spirit still haunts the veranda area, and a permanent bleach stain on the stairs, where her blood was scrubbed away, is still clearly visible. Many visitors have seen the figure of a woman on the balcony and have heard footsteps in the middle of the night. A stable boy named Morris met a horrific end in the coach house. One day he wasn't feeling well and decided to take the day off, lying down on his straw mattress. The master, presumably Mr. Crawley, not believing he was sick and thinking he was just being lazy, decided to teach him a lesson. He set the straw mattress on fire, thinking Morris would jump up in a panic and get to work. But the boy was too ill to get up. He was burned to death in his own bed. To this day, many people still hear the boy's terrifying screams coming from the coach house. The second maid, who became pregnant by Mr. Crawley, gave birth to a baby boy named Harold. As a young child, Harold was involved in a terrible carriage accident on the homestead grounds, which left him with a severe head injury and permanently disabled. Due to his brain trauma, Harold became aggressive and uncontrollable. Instead of being cared for, the poor boy was chained up in the coach house, some sources say in the dairy or chained to his mother's bed, for over 30 years. He would scream and howl all day, leading the village children to believe a monster was trapped there, and they would often dare each other to go and taunt him. Eventually, authorities discovered the adult Harold. Some accounts say he was found chained next to his mother's dead body, and took him to a mental asylum, where he died shortly after. Harold's spirit is said to still haunt the homestead, and visitors often hear the ghastly rattling of his chains. Tragedy did not spare even the youngest members of the family. The Crawleys' granddaughter, baby Ethel, died in 1917 when she was just 10 months old. The nanny accidentally dropped her down the stairs. However, the nanny insisted that she was pushed by an unseen force, or that something had snatched the baby from her arms. Today, this staircase is one of the most active paranormal hotspots in the house. Many visitors, especially children, become irritable and upset when near it. Some even claim to feel as if someone is pushing them in the back, or feel a small, ice-cold hand suddenly slip into theirs as they go upstairs. Even after the Crawley family had left, the violence continued. In 1960, some sources say 1961, a caretaker named Jack Simpson was shot and killed on the front porch by a young man. The killer had allegedly watched Alfred Hitchcock's horror film Psycho 3 times in a row before committing the crime. He even used chalk to scrawl the words, "Die Jack, ha ha," on the dairy door, a marking that is said to still be visible today. After the last member of the Crawley family departed in 1948, Monte Cristo was abandoned for over a decade, left to be vandalized and forgotten. But its spirits remained, waiting for new owners to arrive and write the next chapter of its horrifying story. In 1963, the Monte Cristo Homestead, by then a dilapidated shadow of its former glory, was purchased by a couple named Reginald and Olive Ryan for just $1,000. They spent years carefully and patiently restoring the house, bringing it back to its former grandeur. But from the very first moment, they knew they were not alone. Their first strange experience happened on the very first day they arrived to take possession of the house. As their car made its way up the hill, they were astonished to see the entire homestead lit up, as if a grand party was waiting for them inside. But as they reached the front door, all the lights suddenly went out. What made it even stranger was that at the time, the house had no electricity at all. Their pets also sensed that something was wrong. Both the Ryan family's dog and cat adamantly refused to enter the house, even running away from it. And the animal tragedies didn't stop there. One night, the Ryan family returned home to find all of their chickens in the coop had been mysteriously strangled. Their pet parrot was also found choked to death in its cage. More horrifically, an entire litter of kittens they were raising in the breakfast room was brutally killed. The family cat was even found on the kitchen floor, skinned and disemboweled, while all the doors had been locked. It seemed the spirits of Monte Cristo had a deep hatred for animals. As the Ryan family settled in and raised their 5 children in the homestead, paranormal experiences became a part of their daily lives. Mrs. Olive often heard her name being called when no one was there. She also heard footsteps on the balcony when she was alone. At least once she felt a hand on her shoulder, which she believed was Mrs. Elizabeth Crawley trying to communicate. Her children had similar experiences. They all saw figures in period clothing wandering the house and felt ice-cold hands touching them. Instead of fleeing, the Ryan family decided to confront their uninvited guests. They turned Monte Cristo into a museum and tourist attraction, opening it to the public and hosting famous ghost tours. Today, Olive Ryan still lives in the homestead with her son Lawrence, who runs the ghost tours. Visitors from all over the world flock here to experience the terror of Australia's most haunted house, and very few are disappointed. A wide range of supernatural phenomena continues to be reported. The spirit of Elizabeth Crawley is said to still rule the house. She allegedly judges the guests who visit. If she dislikes someone, she will make them feel a bone-chilling cold or touch them with an icy hand. Visitors often hear disembodied whispers, the rattling of chains and screams. Many photographs taken inside the house show orbs of light and unexplainable mists. Feelings of nausea and overwhelming sadness are very common. Some people have even fainted during tours. The sensation of being pushed on the stairs is still frequently reported. Brave guests who stay overnight tell of something unseen touching their feet or feeling a heavy pressure on their chests as if someone is sitting on them. Lawrence Ryan, who grew up with the ghosts, believes that skeptics are the ones most likely to experience phenomena. Whether the legends about the Crawley family can be verified or not, the first-hand experiences of the Ryan family over the past 60 years and the countless accounts from visitors have firmly cemented the reputation of the Monte Cristo Homestead. It stands there on the hill, a beautiful Victorian structure carrying within it a dark history that can never be erased. It is a chilling reminder that some houses are built not just with bricks and mortar, but with pain, violence, and souls that can never find their rest.